Mansfield today on a Sunday, and it's time to look at our gaming and tech section. Today we're looking at tech, and joining me in the studio, Reichardt van der Berg, who is editor at nag.co.za. Reichardt, nice to have you in the Mansfield Today studio.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeremy.
Okay, now you brought in under the desk here, I see a whole lot of...
Little toys, little bits.
Well, I wouldn't have a clue what I'm looking at, so best you unpack these things.
Let's start with the star of the show today. So
Yes.
This is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Fan Edition 5G. I mean, it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But it's the latest phone in the S21 series, which is the current series.
Yeah.
The S21 is rumored to be launching imminently, so I think a few days after the show launch, actually, early February. So it's a bit of an odd phone in that situation that it's kind of late to the party, because the Fan Edition phones is usually the base series device on the Samsung Galaxy flagship phone series, with a few tweaked features to it, like the camera, maybe a sensor, maybe the screen, that kind of thing. But it's still a great phone. So it's got a bit of an odd placing in the series, but it's a high-end phone. It's got great features, great for gaming. A little bit on the pricey side, especially with the S22 coming. But it just launched. It's great. It's new. I love the purple backing on there. You can just have a look how good that looks. I've been playing some games on it, and I actually need to show you this. Let me just unlock there quickly. Now, what's important about a smartphone, if you're going to be looking at something, you want a good screen resolution. So this has got a 120 hertz screen, which means especially for gamers, and really that's what we're looking at smartphones for these days, is it refreshes the image on the screen a lot quicker than a normal phone would. So you see things a little bit smoother. It appears a little bit better to your eyesight. And of course, we don't have internet connection right now. But let me just show you, so you can have a look there. That's Battlegrounds, PUBG Battlegrounds. Absolutely beautiful game that I've been playing. You can just have a look at some of the graphics. I mean, it's just, you can be playing the game, but it's very sharp.
Yeah, they're incredibly sharp.
And it's what you would expect from the S21 range. I mean, I can go into all the technical specifications. It's plenty for gaming. It's got more than enough storage space, space for 2 SIM slots, so you can have a backup SIM in there. And it's got a great camera. It's an 8 megapixel at the back, 12 megapixels, sorry, which might not sound like much in today's day and age, especially when you have 20, 30, 40 megapixel phone cameras out there. But at the end of the day, if you want the sharpness, night shots to be good shots without using a flash, and this one does and delivers all of that very nice. If you're into selfie shooters though, that's a 32 megapixel shooter in the front, so you're going to get some super sharp images if you use the front camera. Going around 15 grand.
It is a bit pricey.
It's a bit pricey,
yeah.
especially considering the new range is coming out. But it's not a bad phone, so I suspect it's going to drop in price, and then this is going to be you're going to pick this up on a contract for a bit better, especially when the S22 comes out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nice fun all around, definitely not locking it. I've been having a lot of fun with this. And you can feel the high end, things just perform snappier. Apps run faster, games especially run very nicely on this. So, yeah, I can recommend it if you can stomach the budget. Otherwise, just wait until you get it at a cheaper price.
Now, this I recognize-ish, because I think in my day when I was doing TV, they had things like this.
Beautiful gimbal.
It's
a bit of a finicky one to set up that. So that is the first generation of DJI's Osmo handheld gimbal.
Yes.
Now DJI is obviously very well known for their drones, and they just basically took that technology that the camera hangs on under the drone and put it into a handheld gimbal for smartphone users. Yeah. It's a fantastic idea if you think about it. A lot of people take videos with their smartphones, and it's not always stabilized. Not everybody has high-end phones that has in-camera stabilization. Yeah. So apart from a few other features we'll get into now, this is the old model. So that's the original. It looks slightly bulky and old.
Yeah, it does.
And then I actually need to fold this up to show you. So this is the new one. So you can have a comparison.
Yesterday, okay, yeah. Look at that as a comparison.
So then you just fold this out. So this is the OM5. It's not called the Osmo anymore. It's the OM5. It's the latest one that was launched late last year. There's been a few in the range. You can actually, if you're in the mood for this type of, in the market for one of these things, you can actually pick up the older models for a good price. But I went specifically for the latest one because it's got one or two features that I'll show you now that's actually pretty cool. So apart from the size that's different, the motors inside this thing is also improved a lot. So it can take today's large screen phones. This one battles a bit with the old ones, battles a bit with just weight distributions. So the first thing that's really nice about this, and let me just, all of them come with this little tripod, but I just want to put this on so we can stand it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but so you can put it on the table. I'll explain to you some of the features you do that for. But let me just show you how it actually fits onto your phone. So it's got a little magnetic clip, you can see it there. And this is one of the nicest features about this, that this one you have to just pull apart and kind of, okay, this is the first generation, so you can take that for what it is. But this is a really nice feature, so I'm just going to pop on this magnetic clamp, just don't cover the buttons. And you pop it on there. It's pretty sturdy
that is
clamp.
Yeah.
And you can pull it off quite easily. But I mean, it's a much nicer design, and it self-balances. So as long as it's within a range on the middle of, kind of in the middle of the phone, it'll self-balance. So while you're holding it, let me just switch it on for you. Where's that button? So what it does, it kind of self-balances. Now it is ready to shoot. There's an app that comes with it. I mean, we'll show it to you in some B-roll footage, but there's an app that comes with it that allows you to use all the functionality with this gimbal, but you can also just put on your normal video app on your phone and start shooting. If you move it around, it'll kind of stabilize it and make your shots smooth.
Okay, now you show me how to make the shots, because I'm with the vaguest idea.
I normally shoot like this. Now, obviously, what you're using this for is mobile videography, but you want those smooth shots. So if you're going to be walking, going around, focusing on things, you'll see kind of the camera will always stay nicely balanced where it needs to look. I can move it around.
Yeah.
It's a bit slow right now, but you can see. And then one of the coolest features about this really is if you want to go to portrait mode, landscape mode, sorry, double press that button, and then you can shoot in landscape. Obviously, if you want to go up and down, it'll always retain that nice smooth feel for you. I can lock onto subjects. I mean, we don't have anything here, but again, if I press a trigger and it's locking onto a subject, it'll actually stay focused on that subject the whole time.
Yeah.
So if I'm moving around, so what I often use it for product shots, if I'm moving it around a monitor or something, it'll just stay in that
So in other words, as long as if you've locked into that particular, if you've locked into this will always be in focus. Anything, the other stuff behind it may be out of focus and all the rest.
That's a camera setting, yes. You can do that with, if you have a nice big aperture on your phone, some of them do, or have like a depth of field feature. But you can actually draw around. So I can draw the picture around you on the app, draw it around you, and it'll know that you are the focus. And as I move around, or as you walk around through an expo or something, we can keep shooting the footage for you. This is a small version of some of the big rigs you see guys walking around at events and TV productions. It's like a big stabilization. But with today's smartphone technology being so good, honestly, I found so much value out of this because I don't need to spend 20, 30,000 Rand on a high-end camera and then the kit that goes with it. I can use my normal high-end phone, and this thing cost about 2,700 Rand.
Wow, okay. I was thinking it's going to cost a lot more than that.
You can pick up the 3s and 4s in this range. They don't have some of the features and aren't quite the same. They maybe have bigger handle, and they've got some benefits to them too, but you can get them for between 1.5 and 2 grand. So if you want to get into the market of handheld gimbals, there's a nice, easy way to get into it.
Oh, yes, I can see kids going mild for these sort of things.
Yeah, they do like it. Look, I mean, a lot of phones also have built-in stabilization, so it's not everybody's cup of tea. This is really if you're into video production, you want to make some cool videos. I can go on my mountain bike and shoot a fellow mountain biker, look at their new shoes or look at some gearing that they're doing very easily with something like this, like a guerrilla shooting style. One of the things I wanted to show you before we finish this off is one of the things I got this for is there's a telescopic arm in here. So this is not just handy for going high and low, but I can adjust the angle here too. So now I've got a different scope of a range of view that I can use if I'm going around products, for example, or if I just want to do, above crowd shots. Obviously, we all have our perceptions about selfie sticks, but this is really handy. And then the last feature is if you put it down. So if I put it down, using the software, I can actually get it to track you. So if you want to do a live show, again, if you're standing around there, I would just draw it around you, say track the subject. You can walk around and this will actually, and I'm just simulating the movement, but it will
follow the live
follow
subject.
you.
So if I'm doing a presentation and I'm wanting to record that presentation, but in the course of the presentation, I walk all over the stage and start showing things on screens and all the rest of it, I can actually go, zap, you follow me,
Exactly.
and it follows me.
It's a very cool feature. Yeah, it's a very cool feature.
That's very cool.
So, I mean, it's very easy to go live to Facebook or TikTok, any of those channels
Yeah.
from your phone these days. So you'd obviously just want to put it into vertical mode, set it to tracking, and it'll do its job. Now, obviously, you want to be conscious of the audio that you're going to be putting in if you're at a distance.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of solutions that plug into your phone for that. Obviously, you have all the controls from your Handheld too, so you can start recording, you can zoom in and out, that all the other models have to. But I'm being impressed with it and really enjoyed playing with it.
That's really impressive. It is. Reichardt, thank you very much for coming in and for sharing those with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Reichardt van der Berg, from the editor from nag.co.za. Hopefully you find that interesting. Go out, have a look at them. There may be something that you're interested in picking up. Thank you very much for joining us on Mansfield today, this Sunday. We'll catch you again tomorrow with Business with Chris Gibbons. Until then, bye-bye.